Have you ever pondered the possibility of time travel? Could we traverse the vast expanse of time, visiting the past or future at our leisure? Pause a moment and let that sink in. The concept of time travel has been a staple of science fiction, captivating our imaginations with the idea of journeying through the ages like tourists on a cosmic road trip. From H.G. Wells' The Time Machine to the Back to the Future trilogy, this concept has fascinated us on the page and screen alike. But is it all just fantasy? Could there be a grain of truth hidden in these tales of temporal exploration? Enter Albert Einstein. His theory of relativity, introduced in the early 20th century, proposed that space and time are woven together into a four-dimensional fabric known as space-time. In this theory, the potential for time travel exists. Under extreme conditions, space-time could be twisted, turned, and even folded back on itself, creating a path from one point in time to another. This theoretical path is often referred to as a wormhole, and yet the idea of time travel is not without its complications. It's fraught with paradoxes that challenge our understanding of reality. Take the grandfather paradox, for instance. If one were to travel back in time and accidentally prevent their grandfather from meeting their grandmother, they would never be born. But if they were never born, how could they have traveled back in time in the first place? It's a mind-bending conundrum, isn't it? This brings us to the tales of those who claim to have experienced time travel firsthand. These stories, as fascinating as they are controversial, offer glimpses into what time travel might be like if it were indeed possible. They spark our curiosity and inspire us to question the nature of time itself. Let's explore the most compelling tales of individuals who claim to have experienced time travel firsthand. In the year 2000, a man identifying himself as John Titor emerged on internet forums, claiming to be a time traveler from 2036. This mysterious character spun a fascinating tale that captivated the digital space, combining elements of science, technology, and ominous predictions about our world. Titor painted a vivid picture of his time, a dystopian 2036 where society had been reshaped by nuclear war. He provided intricate descriptions of his time travel machine, a device supposedly powered by a miniature black hole. His technological descriptions were so detailed they intrigued both skeptics and believers alike. But it was Titor's predictions that truly sparked interest. He forewarned of a looming civil war in the United States, followed by a global nuclear conflict. While these events have yet to transpire, some of his other forecasts have been eerily accurate. He predicted technological advances such as the rise of the internet and the development of artificial intelligence. He also made statements about the nature of time and space that have since been echoed in scientific theories. Yet the identity of John Titor remains an enigma. Despite numerous investigations, no conclusive evidence has been found to confirm who he truly was. His posts stopped abruptly in 2001, and he vanished as mysteriously as he had appeared. His sudden disappearance only added to the intrigue and speculation. While some believe Titor was a sophisticated hoax, others maintain that he was a genuine time traveler. Despite the lack of definitive proof, the case of John Titor continues to be one of the most compelling and debated stories in the annals of alleged time travel. In 1950, a man named Rudolph Fentz mysteriously appeared in Times Square, dressed in 19th century clothing and seeming disoriented. Imagine, if you will, the bewilderment of the people around him, noticing his outdated attire that stood out like a sore thumb in the bustling city of New York. Among the items found in his possession were old currency, a letter dated back to the 1870s, and business cards bearing his name. His pockets held a tale of another time, a stark contrast to the modern world he found himself in. It was as if Fentz had stepped out of a time machine straight from the 19th century. Authorities, puzzled by this unusual man, began their investigation. As they delved deeper, they unearthed an intriguing coincidence. Records revealed a man named Rudolph Fentz who had lived in the 19th century. Fentz was a businessman who had mysteriously disappeared in 1876. Could this be the same man who appeared in Times Square, seemingly untouched by time? Further investigation led to even more questions. A widow, identified as the wife of Rudolph Fentz Jr., was located. She confirmed that her father-in-law had vanished mysteriously in 1876, leaving no trace behind. Could it be that Fentz Sr. had somehow travelled forward in time, only to find himself lost in a world he didn't recognise? The perplexing case of Rudolph Fentz raises a multitude of questions. Was this a case of mistaken identity, an elaborate hoax, or a genuine instance of time travel? Despite numerous investigations and speculations, the mystery remains unsolved. Perhaps the most intriguing aspect of this case is its enduring legacy. Over 7 decades later, the story of Rudolph Fentz continues to captivate us, intriguing theorists and skeptics alike. It serves as a tantalizing hint of the possibility of time travel, a concept that continues to fascinate us and fuel our imagination. Fentz's story remains one of the most puzzling alleged instances of time travel. Whether it's a conundrum wrapped in an enigma, a tall tale, or a genuine leap through time, the unexplained journey of Rudolph Fentz remains an enduring mystery, forever etched in the annals of time travel lore. In 1943, according to urban legend, the US Navy conducted a secret experiment intended to render the USS Eldridge, a naval destroyer escort, invisible to radar. This tale, known as the Philadelphia Experiment, is a fascinating narrative that has intrigued and baffled enthusiasts of the extraordinary for decades. The story goes that the experiment was more successful than anticipated. Instead of merely becoming invisible, the USS Eldridge supposedly vanished entirely from its dock in Philadelphia, only to reappear moments later in Norfolk, Virginia, some 270 miles away. It's said that the ship and its crew were not just teleported through space, but also transported through time. The crew members allegedly experienced severe side effects. Tales tell of sailors fused into the ship's metal, driven mad or simply disappearing. Some are said to have travelled into the future only to return with harrowing tales of what lies ahead. However, like all good mysteries, concrete evidence for the Philadelphia Experiment is elusive. No official documents or credible witnesses have ever confirmed the story. The US Navy has consistently denied the experiment's existence, attributing the tale to a mix of misunderstood legitimate research, science fiction, and outright fabrication. Despite the lack of solid proof, the tale has been kept alive by a handful of supposed eyewitness accounts, and through its perpetuation in popular culture. Books, movies, and television series have painted vivid pictures of the experiment, adding layers of complexity and intrigue to the original narrative. The Philadelphia Experiment serves as a stark reminder of how our human curiosity can give life to stories that straddle the line between reality and fantasy. It taps into our collective fascination with the unknown, the unproven, and most tantalizingly, the possibility of manipulating time itself. Despite the skepticism surrounding it, the Philadelphia Experiment continues to captivate time travel enthusiasts. Whether it's a mere urban legend or a shrouded piece of history, the enigmatic tale of the Philadelphia Experiment remains a timeless enigma in the world of alleged time travel incidents. From a purported time traveler on internet forums to an unexplained appearance in Times Square, these stories intrigue and baffle us. We've navigated through the captivating narratives, the puzzles wrapped in enigmas, the timeless tales that have sparked endless debates and theories. Let's revisit the mysterious case of John Titor, the self-proclaimed time traveler from the future who surfaced on internet forums, sharing predictions and technological insights. His detailed descriptions of his time machine, coupled with his chilling forecasts, still leave us pondering. Was John Titor a master of deception or a genuine time voyager? Then we delved into the unexplained journey of Rudolph Fentz, the man who allegedly vanished in the late 19th century, only to appear in Times Square in the 1950s. His tale, replete with historical accuracies and anachronistic oddities, still poses questions that we can't answer definitively. And who could forget the enigmatic tale of the Philadelphia Experiment? This alleged military experiment, shrouded in controversy and conspiracy theories, tells of a naval ship and its crew that was supposedly rendered invisible and teleported. The story continues to fuel speculation and intrigue, despite the lack of credible evidence. These narratives share a common thread: the tantalizing concept of time travel. They're stories that blur the lines between fact and fiction, science and speculation, reality and fantasy. They captivate us because they challenge our understanding of time and space, presenting possibilities that both excite and confound us. Our fascination with time travel is a testament to our innate curiosity, our desire to explore the unknown. These stories, as perplexing as they are, feed that curiosity. They encourage us to question, to imagine, to dream. They remind us that there are still mysteries in this world awaiting discovery. Whether these stories are fact or fiction, they remind us of the timeless allure of time travel and the mysteries it continues to evoke. So as we journey forward, let's remember that the future, like the past, holds its own secrets, waiting to be unraveled.